Today's Friday, December 20th, and you are listening to episode number 15 of the DogHouse Podcast.
From DogHouseSystems.com, this is the DogHouse Podcast.
All right, everybody, we'd like to welcome all back. Again, this is episode 1415 of the podcast. And thank you, Abby, for, as I was starting to say it, I was like, I think it's 14. Welcome to the show, Abby.
Welcome. Hello.
And
wow, I really panicked on that one.
Lorenzo, welcome back.
And welcome to you too, John.
I'd like to pass away now.
We're almost into holiday mode. I'll attribute it to that. It's been pure craziness, and I think finally we're starting to see a little bit of relief in sight. Welcome back, by the way, Lorenzo. How was your trip?
Good. Cold.
Was it?
Brought a little bit of the cold weather back with us, but I'm not complaining. It's better than having a warm Christmas. So
for sure.
Where'd you go?
Colorado.
Oh.
Yeah. Not nearly as much snow as we thought, which was good.
That is
Actually,
good.
It made the drive really easy.
That's the worst, yeah, if you're having to travel through those conditions. But yeah, so good deal. Well, I'm glad you had fun. We've got a good bit of stuff, actually a lot of stuff to go through on today's podcast. And we will have Matthew joining us a little bit later as well to talk about a game that he is very, very excited about. And let's go ahead and jump right into our first segment, Bark Bites. Abby, why don't you go ahead and...
All I'm thinking about is Birdie barking now.
Birdie's my dog. Actually, it's my daughter's dog, but no, I'll call it my dog.
She's your dog.
Yes.
So Epic Games is in a little bit of hot water at this moment. In a document published by the Federal Trade Commission, and if you don't know, they're a federal department. It's basically tasked with protecting the public from unfair trade practices. So they basically kind of manage all of the businesses in the United States. They found that Epic Games was using design tactics known as dark patterns to trick players into making unwanted purchases, let children rack up unauthorized charges without any parental involvement, and even blocked some users who disputed unauthorized charges from accessing their purchased content.
It's messed up.
Mm-hmm. It was alleged in the document that this is specifically for the game Fortnite, that the button configuration and just how kind of confusing and elaborate it was led players to sometimes purchasing things with just a single button. So you could be just trying to wake your game up from sleep mode, and you could hit a button and it would make a purchase, but you wouldn't know it. Mm-hmm. So kind of scary. They finally ended up reaching a settlement between Epic and the FTC that results in refunds of more than $72 million to more than 629,000 players in the U.S.
Wow.
The settlement is a lot bigger, but the $72 million will go back in refunds to all of the U.S. players.
Good. It's nice to see that the FTC stepped in and did the right thing here.
Super important step. So who's eligible for a refund? So if you were charged in-game currency for items that you didn't want between January 2017 and September 2022, if your child made a purchase on your credit card without you knowing between January of 2017 and November 2018.
I'm sorry, I'm going to stop you there. That's really good and all that they're doing that, but my God, if you're not watching what your kids are putting on your credit card, I almost feel like you ought to be told, tough luck. Folks, check your credit card statements.
Yeah.
Monitor what your kids are kind of doing.
Why is your credit card tied to your child's Fortnite account is my question.
Yeah, that too.
I don't want to be mean, but yeah, really, why? Why is that payment method saved, I guess, is a better question.
I'm sure the Epic lawyers are probably saying the same thing.
I bet they are, yeah. But where are these parents and what are they doing?
Wow. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
You're good. And finally, if your account was locked between January of 2017 and September of 2022, after you spoke with your credit card company about wrongful charges, you are all eligible for a refund. Please note that you have to be 18 to complete the form, and all those who are affected can apply for a refund through the link in our show notes until January 10th, 2025. However, they have made statements in a couple of their documents that if you have filed for a refund after October 8th of this year, there's nothing you can really do right now. They're still going over claims to make sure that people are not falsely submitting a claim. So if you file now until January 10th, do not fret. They just have to make sure that all your claims are correct. But they will provide more information in the coming months as the refunds continue.
Well, good. Well, let's move on to some happier news. This is one I'm real excited about. So, looks like the RTX 5090 and the 5080 is right around the corner. I mean, to the point of less than a month out. So last week, NVIDIA posted on X with a teaser about the new generation cards, basically kind of lighting the path for that they're going to make announcements at CES, which is going to take place on January 6th at 6:30 Pacific time. So that's going to be a big, as far as kind of like big announcements, there are going to be a lot of people tuning in for this, and for very good reasons. I mean, this new architecture, Blackwell, is going to be pretty awesome, pretty powerful. Speaking of power consumption requirements, 600 watts is kind of the rumored spec. And also some leaked info is pointing to 32 gigs of GDDR7 memory. It's going to be a pretty powerful card. I'm thinking on the flight simulators specifically, that's going to be awesome. And we've got a number of people that are excited about the Microsoft releasing the new flight simulator, but specifically because it's been so difficult to get some of these video cards, they have taken the approach that they're going to wait until the new 5090 comes out. And for those patient folks, we'll be hopefully in touch with them really soon about the new cards. They also, last week at the Games Awards, CD Projekt, they had a video go up, and it was the start of the trailer for Witcher 4. And this is another kind of like alluding to the new announcement of the new video cards. In the trailer, they stated cinematic trailer pre-rendered in Unreal Engine 5 on an unannounced NVIDIA G4 RTX GPU. So you know it had to be probably the new RTX 5090. So that is, I'm excited. It's going to be good stuff.
Yeah, new hardware is always, exciting to speculate about, and it seems like we're not too far away from launch. So it's going to be a very exciting start to the new year.
Absolutely.
It was so much fun reaching out to people and being like, here you go. We got some.
And we've had to, tell people. Well, we have told people, some people just have to have it now. And for those people, the RTX 4090 it'll work. It'll work fine. The 5090 is a little better, I think, going to be future-proofing yourself a little better. And maybe depending on, especially again, back to the flight sim folks, depending on how many displays, it could have an immediate impact, not so much about future-proofing, but giving you what you need right here and right now.
If you just bought a 4080, 4090, don't fret. Your card isn't immediately going to become slow.
Not at all.
It'll still be as fast as it was the day you bought it. Just in technology, every year, 18 months, 2 years, new products release. That's the way technology works. So we're just excited to see how far NVIDIA can push graphics and, performance with the new generation. Yeah.
With the power supply configuration for that 5090.
850 is probably not going to cut it anymore.
No. So 1,000 watt minimum.
I think, would be the way to go. Yeah. Wow. Especially if you're purchasing a high-end CPU, which you probably should if you're pairing it with one of those GPUs. And then
it starts to get you thinking too. I would, think, okay, let's just do 1,000 watt, call it a day. But I think we might want to put a 1,300 and the 1,600 watt option just for folks that might be doing some form of future proofing, because who's to say that the 6090 that might come out the year next might not have 700 watt requirements. Who knows at the rate that they're going?
We'll all just need dedicated circuits in our homes for our gaming PCs. Just an entire 15 amp circuit just for a PC.
Imagine turning that PC on and all of a sudden the rest of the neighborhood lights start dimming.
Well, you won't need to pay for heating anymore.
No.
That's nice. Yeah. Especially, this time of year.
For sure.
Turn it on at night.
Just leave your game paused and you're good.
Yeah.
Your bedroom gets nice and toasty.
Well, good stuff. Well, let's go ahead and get into our next segment, Tech Treats. Abby, I think you got some really good stuff for us here.
We do. So as you mentioned, the Game Awards were last week, and Lorenzo and I found all of the winners.
We've condensed the list a little bit. If the game won multiple awards, we grabbed the first one. Yeah. So winning game of the year this year was Astrobot on the PlayStation 5, which pretty much swept every category it was nominated for, which is very surprising. I have not played it. Have you, John, or have you, Abby?
I have not.
No, yeah.
The game that won Best Score in Music was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I believe is coming out...
January 23rd, it's coming to PC. So it's been PS5 exclusive up until now. I almost picked it up on PS5 late last month. What? I held off, and I'm glad I did, because when I got back from vacation, saw the announcement that it's coming to PC. So
nice.
I pre-ordered it on Steam, just the base game.
And I'm going to back up a little bit. Game of the year, Astrobot. I played not the full release, but they had kind of like a technical demo version.
They had the pack-in demo. Yeah, I played a little bit of that too. It's really fun.
That was so impressive of what they were able to do with the PS5 controller. Just all the little things.
There's the little segment where you're climbing up a wall and you have to grab on with the triggers.
Yes.
But you have to grab the trigger, and then there's a break point where you have to continue to pull the trigger. And that's really cool. The adaptive triggers are pretty amazing.
Yes.
Wait, this game is so cute.
It is, yeah.
I have a hoodie that is an Astro hoodie.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, back when Jinx was doing their end of the sale, I went ahead and grabbed one.
Nice.
Stop, that robot is so adorable.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. Continuing on, Best Audio Design, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Also, Best Performance, Melina Juergens won Best Performance for her performance in that game as well.
Okay. Innovation in Accessibility, The Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown.
Games for Impact, Neva? I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Neva Eva,
yeah. There you go.
Best Community Support was Baldur's Gate 3.
I definitely believe that one. They had been pumping out patch after feature after additional content just for free to support that game since it released. Yeah. Best independent game was Balatro, which I'm sure Matthew will have a few words about after this list.
The best VR/AR game was Batman Arkham Shadow.
Yeah. Best action game was Black Myth Wukong, which I think everyone will agree is a great new game.
The best RPG was A Metaphor Refuntasio,
which I 100% agree with. I've put almost 200 hours into that game since release, and it's fantastic. Yeah, it won that, and I think Best Art Direction as well. And the menu and UI system is amazing. Story's great, and the gameplay is fantastic. Yeah. Best Fighting Game went to Tekken 8.
The best sim/strategy game was Frostpunk 2.
Best sports or racing game went to EA Sports FC 25.
Best multiplayer game was Helldivers 2.
Best adaptation, I think this one's a little contentious even now, went to Fallout.
I've seen a lot of people that are like, I don't think that one should have won, and League of Legends show Arcane should have won. The most anticipated game is Grand Theft Auto 6.
Content Creator of the Year went to Queso.
The best esports game went to League of Legends.
And the best esports athlete and also team was Faker from T1.
Mm-hmm.
And Abby's best action game was Squirrel with a Gun.
Squirrel with a Gun. My personal vote. It's all that matters. So I got some fun games this week. So for the fantasy game, we have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which we mentioned before. It's coming to the PC January 23rd, 2025. That is such a weird number to say. I'm not ready. The unknown journey continues. After escaping from the dystopian city of Midgar, Cloud and his friends set out on a journey across the planet. New adventures await in a vibrant and vast world in this standalone entry to the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy. It is currently on sale for $48.99 on Steam.
Such a good game. That was one of my favorites back on PS1.
Final Fantasy VII, yeah, it's fantastic.
Sorry, the poor John saying PS1. I don't know why.
I guess you're right. Technically, it was called the PlayStation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just the PlayStation.
Yeah.
I think they're the only tech company that has been simple and consistent with naming. Here is, oh no, because they had PS2 Slim, 3 Slim, and they've got, I think, 4 or 5 different versions of the PS5 non-pro. Never mind. I take that back. They're just as bad as everyone else.
But they're, from what I know, and of course I'm not a huge gamer, is everyone was waiting for the PS5. And I know one of their competitors is Xbox, and it didn't get as much hype if it were releasing as much as PlayStation received.
Yeah. No, I can see that PlayStation has a lot of exclusives you can only play on PS4, PS5.
Interesting.
Versus Xbox, most stuff is available on Steam or on on PlayStation as well. Yeah.
That's
yeah, we just got a PS5 before the Pro came out. So like I said earlier, if you just bought something and a new one comes out, it's not instantly worse. Telling that to myself too.
Yours still works.
Yeah, it still works. It still does exactly
It's
what I
just
thought it was going to do.
A rapidly
There you go.
developing industry.
And progress is good. So in 2 or 3 years, when the next one comes out, it'll be even better. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The casual game of this week is Balatro, a hypnotically satisfying deck builder where you play illegal poker hands, discover game-changing jokers, and trigger adrenaline-pumping outrageous combos. It is currently on sale on Steam for $13.49. And Matt, you've been playing this one, correct?
Yeah, I picked it up on Sunday evening, and I wasn't able to stop playing it. It's been a long time since I've been this excited about a game, and especially getting it under $15 is really exciting. It did really well at the Game Awards, which was really nice to see an independent game getting that much recognition and being nominated for Game of the Year along with the other AAA games. I think this was Local Thunk, the creator, his first published game. I think he said he had been making some for quite some time, but this was his first time publishing one.
I know we've talked about it a bit. For listeners that might not know what this game is, just saw, an indie game nominated for Game of the Year. How would you describe it to them?
Yeah, well, so like Abby was saying, it is at its core a game based around poker, but it's a roguelite. It can be kind of hard to imagine a roguelite poker game, but if you've played Slay the Spire or I believe Risk of Rain 2, that's also a deck builder roguelite, correct?
Risk of Rain 2 is a third-person shooter.
Okay.
Kind of like Returnal, if anyone's familiar with that game as well. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it's very similar to Slay the Spire, which got a lot of attention a few years back.
And for folks that might not understand roguelike, can you kind of elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah. So it's a subgenre of game. It's a really wide kind of description. It's sort of like Metroidvania. It's a really wide net cast on a certain subgenre of games, but basically it's just any kind of game where you start a new run and pretty much everything you have is new, and you build up, you unlock bonuses and upgrade levels within that run, and then at the end of it, it's permadeath and you go back and start all over.
Okay. So typical game, how long does it last?
So the way it works is you build up antes. You go through 3 rounds, and at the end of every round is a boss blind, or I'm sorry, a boss level. The levels are called blinds, and so if you get through 8 antes, it usually takes you about an hour.
Okay. And you said the other day you were playing that you just couldn't put it down. You probably played for at least a few hours.
Yeah, I have every night this week. Yeah.
So it's definitely got some addictive qualities to it.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's a lot easier to see than to explain the reason that it's so fun, I suppose. So if you just go look at anything from the Game Awards or any short gameplay video, you'll see quickly, I think, how entertaining it can be, and the replayability is just really incredible. Every single run, you can build an entirely new run that's unlike anything you've played before. The creativity in it is really incredible.
That's cool. That was going to be my next question, was replayability. Like once you quote unquote could win it out, is it going to make you like, okay, I'm done playing? But you feel like maybe 6 months down the road, you might still be just as interested in playing again?
Yeah, for sure. And with it being a roguelite instead of a roguelike, really the only difference is with roguelite, there is some sense of meta progression. So there's different decks you can unlock and higher, what are they called? Stakes. You can add to your decks that'll just make a run a little more difficult. And I think there's like at least 15 decks to unlock. There's like over 140 jokers you can unlock. There's a lot of progression in the game, and like I said, just no 2 runs are ever going to be the same. So there's an incredible amount of replayability, and especially for less than $15, it's a really incredible value.
Cool. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you put it?
Probably an 8.5.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you giving us your thoughts on the game.
Yeah, cool.
Let's do Pack Talk.
So Pack Talk is not a specific individual question this week, but something we've seen pop up quite a bit. I'd say probably 5 to 10 contacts in the past 2 or 3 days. John, you think that's about fair?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, so we've had quite a few customers reach out and say, please help. I ran Windows Update, restarted my computer, or shut it down and booted up the next day, and now Windows says I don't have a key. I have unlicensed. And our response is always, don't worry, your DogHouse system includes a full licensed copy of Windows. Your key's on your system. Here's the key if you need it. Customer inputs that key, hits activate, and it works just fine. So we're not sure what is breaking Windows activation, but at least the remedy is to use the key that your system shipped with. That's good. It's easy. But we'll keep you posted if we find out the root cause for the issue.
Yeah, we're not 100% sure, but one of the customers we did talk to today mentioned that this happened right after a Windows update. So there might have been something within that. It might have been a significant update that might have somehow triggered it. Normally, if it's a BIOS update, well, I wouldn't say normally, but sometimes in a BIOS update, that may trigger it where you have to reactivate.
Yeah, if your motherboard ID changes, that could trigger it. If you changed a significant portion of your hardware, it changes it. But the case that we've seen, like you said, are mostly after Windows Update. So it could be the latest 24H2 update triggering it. It's very likely. I know that's a big code change under the hood for Windows. So yeah, we'll just...
Fortunately, like you said, the fix is easy. It's not a matter of it not taking the activation code once you put the product key back in.
Right. Yeah.
It's more of a nuisance than anything, but hopefully it's just a one-time deal. If any of you guys out there have experienced this, we'd be interested in getting some feedback from you guys. And I'd have to say, even in this case, especially if it wasn't on a DogHouse system, but another computer. And I did some looking on Reddit, and recently, within the last 30 days, some people have been talking. One guy had a Dell, and he said it did the exact same thing, and other people were jumping in saying, me too. So I have a feeling this may be happening all around. But and for folks that might be listening for the first time, our Pack Talk segment is an opportunity where we might take a technical question that you guys might have. If in lieu of that, if we don't have a question that's been submitted to us, we'll talk about something that is current. And this obviously is something that's happening. So again, just for new listeners, we wanted to let you know this is a great opportunity. If you have any technical questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us, and we'll be happy to read your question on a future podcast and be able to answer it for y'all on the show.
We're doing a World of Warcraft Collector's Edition pop-up book set that includes a map, desk mat, some collector's pins, and some signatures. And we asked on our social medias what your favorite expansion of World of Warcraft has been. And first of all, a lot of people have said Lich King. That one was an overwhelmingly popular vote, but we do have our winner, Don Miller, who commented on Facebook. If you could reach out to us at podcast@doghousesystems.com, we'll send you your collector's edition pop-up book.
Congratulations.
Woohoo!
It is a really nice piece of art.
Beautiful.
It's amazing how how intricate, how they did all the cutouts, how each page, when you open it up, it's amazing. Really cool. So congratulations, Don. We look forward to getting this to you. And for folks that would like to be able to reach out to us, Abby, could you mention all the different ways?
Of course. You can email us at podcast@doghousesystems.com. You can give us a call at 214-810-4347, or you can DM us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and X at Doghouse Systems.
This phone number is specifically to leave a voicemail. And that way, if you do have a technical question, leave that technical question on the voicemail, and we'll play that back on a future podcast. So we are calling this a wrap. Boy, almost calling this whole year a wrap.
Well, for the podcast, we will see you in the new year.
We will.
Yeah. This is the last one of the year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any big plans for you guys next week?
None. The usual. Visit family. Enjoy the holiday and try and get some sleep in after driving 2 days. Yeah.
For sure. That's a lot of driving. Abby, how about you?
Got some family coming in. It'll be my nephew's first Christmas, so we're all very excited about that. So we'll see how that goes.
That'd be good. That'd be good. Ours will be a little bit more subdued. My wife has to work Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the day after, unfortunately. But she does it with such an incredible spirit, and with the kids that may have to, unfortunately, even worse, have to be at the hospital. She'll be doing some cool stuff, and I'm sure in their own way they do some really cool stuff at Christmas time. So that in of itself is going to be pretty cool. Maybe I'll be able to have a chance to go up and visit too. So I hope everybody listening has a wonderful Christmas holiday that is coming up, and also wishing you a very happy new year. And we will be back in 2026 with episode number
2025.
We're taking a year off.
Surprise!
The confidence and just the dedication to 2026.
Look me right in the eyes.
Hey, you just go with it.
Just go with the confidence.
We'll see you in 2027. All right.
We're going to surprise. We're taking breaks.
We're taking a 2-year break.
A little hiatus. Y'all take care.
Toodaloo.
Ho, ho, ho.